So Nikki seems to have slowed ahead, so I've got to watch I don't take her roughly from behind. Ahoy there! If you're new to the channel, I'm Heidi and I live and work aboard my canal boat home, the Rum Wench. I also have a little camper van called Polly, and this is my little travelling companion Bonny, who's a little rescue that feels she can take on the world. So if you want to watch a middle-aged woman and a dog faffing about, then join us on our weekly quest in search of adventure, fun and giggles. Good morning everyone. I had an engine service last week. And what I want to do is make sure that the old girl's got no leaky bits, any drips. So what I've done is I've just cleaned all underneath the engine and put some fresh puppy pads down. I just want to make sure that I can spot any leaks when they happen, because I have just done an oil check and the oil level's just risen slightly, so I need to keep an eye on that. Today I'm going to be travelling again with my friend Nikki because she's heading in the same direction, and it's always more fun when you're travelling with someone else, isn't it? Anyway, I'm very greasy and dirty from doing that job, so I'm going to jump in the shower, and I haven't got a hairdryer, so it means that today I'm going to be cruising with wet hair. Ooh. Just going to keep an eye on my engine. My oil level has gone up slightly since my oil change, but that might be normal. So just going to keep an eye, because to replace this or to get this fixed, it's expensive. This is the heart of this boat. So being a single-handed boater, it does take a while to undo all your ropes and get yourself cast off. Put your tiller on so you can steer. And then today I'm going to be following Nikki, and hopefully we're going to get to Great Haywood, but we'll see how we go. So we're on the move. We want to just get back up north. Both of our families are up there, and Christmas is coming, and we've got some exciting plans as well for winter, me and little Bonny, some adventures planned. But it's going to take a few weeks yet to get back on home waters, because I can't cruise every day because of work and weather. Ooh. The other thing that I'm going to do is when I get nearer to sort of Stone area is I'm going to book an appointment again with Jim, my behaviourist, for little Bonny. He was so fabulous when I first got her, but she's still a twat with dogs. It's not about her having been a perfect dog, but it's about trying to fix her anxieties, and she does have quite a few of those. Oh, she's just so gorgeous and so loving as well. I just want her to be as happy as she can be. So I don't know if you remember me going through this tunnel, Armitage Tunnel, a few months ago. I'm now returning through it, and Nikki's ahead. And it goes very narrow. It used to be a full-on tunnel and they took the roof off, but it's a narrowing, so you can't pass another boat. I think there's a few little passing places, but it's very tight. So Nikki seems to have slowed ahead, so I've got to watch I don't take her roughly from behind. So normally if there's two of you on a boat, one of you would get off and have a look, make sure nothing's coming, but we're both single-handers, so we can't do that. It's just fingers crossed. Very tight. Ooh, it's got a tight entrance. So this was originally the tunnel, had a roof on it, but it's not there anymore. The only bit that's left now is what the road goes over. And it's much easier doing these tight sections when you've got somebody up ahead. You don't have to worry, you know, if they suddenly slow down and panicking, then there's something coming. The one thing that is lovely travelling this time of year is it's very quiet. All the hire boats seem to have gone back to base now. I mean, some of them are still out. A lot of boaters have gone back to their marinas now till spring. There are still the continuous cruisers about and there are still some leisure boats about, but it's a lot quieter, so it's just lovely. And I can't believe we're having this gorgeous weather now as well. Wow, it's great. So I remember when I came through here a couple of months ago and it was just jam-packed with boats, and now there's so much space. So just to the right here there's a boat moored which has put me into the middle of the channel, and there's also a boat trying to come just behind that big bush over there. So there's not enough room for us both to sort of navigate at the moment, but bless them, they did signal me through and they're waiting for me, which is very, very kind. But this is the thing, you see, a lot of these houses on the offside have got massive bushes and they don't keep them trimmed. And I don't know whose responsibility that is, whether it's Canal and River Trust or is it the homeowner. But yeah, you need to keep your bushes trimmed, don't you? You're going to let them grow that big. Like this gentleman here, he's trimming his bush. It just never gets old, does it, eh? Both just come up the lock now and there was an absolute downpour. It's horrendous. Yeah, look at this. Dripping. I've put Bonnie inside now. She did come out and have a little wee in that whilst we're doing the locks, but the heavens opened. That's it for today. Yeah, I've had enough. So me and Nick were talking at the lock and we both got quite excited. And the thing is, living on a boat and living this simple life, you do get quite excited and amused at the simplest of things. And we were saying that if we get to Great Haywood before the shop shuts, there's a little farm shop there, and get some lovely treats for tonight. The last time I was here, this farm shop, I bought some whiskey sausages from a butcher's in there. Oh, they were to die for. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, they sell all sorts of stuff, and it is expensive, but it's good quality stuff. And they've got a butcher's in there, there's a bakery in there, they sell beers, wine, spirits, everything. So we can't wait to get moored up and then walk up to this farm shop.
I need you a minute.
Hey, they all say that. So I was just about to go to this farm shop for my sausage, and Angie and Tony, they've just stopped to give me a bottle of rum. How kind! Hey! Hey! Do you drink rum yourself?
I don't.
No,
no.
You need to.
I'll have to have a go, won't I?
Yeah, and the rum.
I'll have to have a tot.
Yeah.
I haven't got a good glass like you, though.
I know, it's all my glass, isn't it? Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I've said this before, but you really do meet some lovely, generous people on the canals. Anyway, we said our goodbyes and headed off to get something nice for tea. So I went in the farm shop and they didn't have me whiskey sausage, and I love that sausage. We've got a Black Forest hot chocolate, and then I've got some sort of nutty pecan and all sorts of chocolate thing.
And I've got blood curdling and white chocolate cake. No rum.
So we're both now feeling a bit sick after being to that cafe. Nothing to do with the food, just we had too much. I had a very sweet hot chocolate and then a cake as well. So now I'm feeling sick. Self-inflicted. but it was all very, very nice. So whilst it's a nice bright day outside and it's not raining, I'm going to give my chimneys a good old-fashioned sweeping, getting them ready for winter. Even though I have been lighting my fire, and I do it twice a year, chimney, it's now time to give it a good sweep. Yes, I'm now going to remove the baffle plate and the blocks at the side, the heat block things, and go outside and shove my brush right down the hole. So I've got 2 fires on my boat. I'm only going to do this one for now. I'll do the other one at a later time. And get your hold of a towpath torque. They get these in most chandleries and stuff like that. I use them for firelighters. I use them for putting across the floor. Yeah, just get a load of these. So it's really important to remove your baffle plate, because otherwise if you give your chimney a good old-fashioned poking, all the crap lands on the top and that's then a fire hazard. So make sure if you remove your baffle plate and when you give it a good old-fashioned poking, it all goes straight into the fire, so it's easy to clean. It doesn't take long at all, this. It's just one of them jobs that's just a bit messy. And normally I do this in a white t-shirt, but I've learnt from that now. And the other thing that's really important is to make sure you shut the door and your flaps on the fire, because when you go filling and poking from above, if you haven't shut your flaps and your door, all the dust and crap comes into your boat. A nightmare, and that's from experience. So first things first is we're going to remove the chimney. Oh shit. Oh. So ideally you're meant to take your chimney off when it's not in use, but I've left mine on all year round so it's stuck fast because it's been out in all weathers. Balls. These things, they never go to plan, do they? I'm going to have to smack it with a hammer, I think. So I wasn't getting anywhere, so I got Nikki to get involved because she's really strong. And obviously I'd loosened it a bit for her. And whilst Nikki was fiddling with my chimney, I was watching these 2 dog walkers having a scrap. So it's quite a stiff one, this one. Isn't it, Nick?
Yeah, we're going to need a big rum.
Yeah, we're going to need a rum after this.
And some spinach. Just jiggle it. Oh, oh, oh!
So once you've removed the chimney, which took most of the day, and you just shove it down the hole, give it a good old-fashioned poking. Shit, that's not good, is it? So after you've poked it a few times, you either bring stuff out with the brush or you're pushing it down into the fire with the brush. And when that stops happening, you're pretty much done. And then it's just time to clear up now. So now mine's all done, apart from putting the fire back together. Nikki's going to give hers a poking too. Why's yours come off so easily?
I take mine off through the summer.
So Nikki's came off really easily. Yeah, don't be that rough with it, Nikki. Be gentle. So rude. So that was meant to be the easy job, but now I've got to clean up all the mess. And this is all the crap that I poked down from above. Ooh. So I say this every single year, Heidi, put a bin bag in your fire. And every year I forget until I get to this stage. So I've put these gloves on top of dirty hands. It makes no difference, does it? But I like to have a good feel inside to make sure there's no like lumps of anything in any of the corners. Get a right good feeling round. Push it all through the grate so it goes into the pan below. So this pan's been emptied already 3 times. And that's just by me having a fiddle. Because once you have poked it, the top of the baffle plate, it gets caked in it all. And even though I've took the baffle plate out, there's a big like ridge up there, and that's caked in stuff as well. Yeah, these are all potential fire hazards. I know I'm like take the mick all the time and that, but your fire is very, very important. You've got to look after it and keep it well swept. Bonny's decided to eat a breakfast at this particular moment. That's been there for the last 4 hours. So that now is the fire all laden and done, but there's soot everywhere and dust, so I'm going to have a big spring clean. Yeah, I've just put the rug in the washing machine. I'm just going to do these floors. I need a shower, but first we're going to have a rum. Which rum are we having, Nikki?
Bundaberg, a special edition.
Ooh, yeah.
Nipple rub?
Nipple rub. Cheers.
Nice for you to wash up, clean up for the rum.
I'll have a shower in a minute. I like that. Nice. Cheers! So today I'm having another session with Jim from DogJimTraining, and it's been fantastic because Bonny, she's very reactive to other dogs, as you know, especially big dogs. And we're looking at other methods to try out as well to speed up that little process, because she does get very anxious, especially on long walks when there's dogs about.
So we're going to go one treat on the floor. Move it. Yes. The moment she looks at you, reward your other hand and then pick that one up. That's the important bit. You can reward that as well if you want, because she's really good. You have dog. She's doing it a lot quicker as we practice it. She's not even looking there. So her focus is from the treat to us, and that's what we're after. We don't want her staring at the treat because that's not really leaving it, is it? Good dog, well done.
But we're also doing a little bit of basic obedience as well with her training to leave it.
Bonny!
Bonny? Who's this?
You were here, but I would have brought some treats.
So I've just had another dog training session with Jim, and he's just fantastic because I got a load of skills to use last time with Bonny's reactivity, because she launches and barks at big dogs still, and it's quite, you know, it's a lot of the time. So he's given me loads more techniques to try with her, which is fantastic. And he's brilliant, Jim. What I love about him is he knows Bonny. He's got to know Bonny, so he knows how she's behaving. He's watching her behaviour. He's watching how I am with her. So it's all brilliant. So, and a few people have said, well, she's a reactive dog, just learn to live with it. Well, I want to do everything I can to make her a happy dog, you know, and these training sessions do really work. You just have to do what you can do, don't you? So whilst I was moored in Great Haywood, I was able to get a bus to Stafford, where the train station is, and catch a train to my parents, as a visit was long overdue. And also that's where I store my little camper van. So here I am in my van Polly, and I absolutely adore this little van, but I've not used it so much this year. I've only used it for work related stuff, going to gigs and things. But I'm hoping over winter to get out in it a lot more, because the thing is with winter is we can't move too far on the boat. One, the weather's crap, and two, all the stoppages. Yeah, so you don't tend to move as far, you just move when you need to. So I'm hoping to get out in this a lot more. I'm going to look at some power upgrades as well. I have had a solar panel put on the front, but I do want to get more things done to it so I can go away in it for longer, because she's only got one little leisure battery. And one of the reasons that I've come today is I need to book this van in for its timing belt, cam belt, whatever, and water pump change. So I've got to do that. I've also come to visit my mum because she's recently fallen and cracked her pelvis. So she's going everywhere on crutches at the moment. She's proper struggling. She's still dead happy in herself and that. But I haven't seen my mum and dad for ages, and I don't half miss them. And my nieces and nephews. Which is why I'm here as well, because tonight we're all going into Liverpool to watch an orchestra play all the big movie themes. So I'm really looking forward to that. Sometimes it's good to get off your boat and just go and do something completely different. Holly the van. I've got little Bonnie here next to me. She's all strapped in the seat. Yeah, I've got a DJ gig tonight, so I'm heading over to Yorkshire to go off and do this Halloween event. Yeah, I'm quite excited by it. I've got my costume in the back. I've got all my speakers and everything in the back, actually. Yeah, the good advantage of having a little van. But I'm also giving this van a little trial run because I'm hopefully over winter, well after Christmas, taking this van to Europe with little Bonnie. So I'm going to show you little bits of that as we go along over the next few weeks, getting the van ready. And yeah, we're going to go on a big adventure. But I'll tell you more about all that when we go along, because I've got so many preparations to do ready for Europe and getting the boat sorted. And yeah, it's a hectic time for me. And also it's my busiest time of the year for badges, because all the school contracts that I've got need all their badges doing. And also I do all my naughty Christmas badges. So it's a very busy time, but I love it. I love being busy. So I've just got back to the boat now, and I've lit this fire because it's freezing in here, and it does get cold. When you leave your boat for a few days without the fire being lit, it gets cold quite quickly. So yeah, so let's hope it warms up. And you heard correctly, yes, I'm hoping to take my little van Polly to Europe after Christmas. It all depends though if she passes her MOT, or if she doesn't, it's not too expensive. Oh, but I've been saving all year for this, and I won't be going alone because obviously I've got little Bonnie, but also I'm meeting my really good friend Sandra over there. She's taking her camper van too, so we're going to be travelling around together. That's the plan. We'll just have to see how it goes, but I have been saving all year for this, and all the money that I get from my Christmas badge sales is all going into the fund. And we don't exactly know how long we're going to go for. We'll just have to see until money runs out. But the thing is, like I've said before, in winter here on the canals, there are lots of stoppages, so it does limit your movement. So I thought, whilst it's freezing cold and I can't really move far anyway, might as well just go on an adventure. Yeah, so I do hope you stick with me for that. Anyway, after going home to my parents, I've visited some friends and I've managed to pick up lots of the gifts that you've sent me. So I'm going to pour myself now a huge rum and show you what gifts I've got. So I've mentioned Captain Glenn before in loads of previous videos because he's so generous and he always sends me bottles of something really quirky. And this one, look at this, it's a skull, but it's in the rainbow glass and it's actually a vodka. Well, you know me, I drink anything. Yeah, so we're going to have one of these today. And whilst I am pouring this, I just want to say a massive thank you to this week's pirate crew. Thank you so much for everything you do for me. Your name should be appearing here. So cheers everyone, woohoo! Just a little nip. Oh, that warms me up. Hey, that takes me back actually to my university days, drinking vodka like that. Anyway, I just want to show you these gifts, and the first one is this beautiful blanket. Now, I've got this from Helen and Sam. They run, it's like a little, I think it's a doggy daycare or a little holiday place for dogs. It looks absolutely stunning. I'll put the link in here. They're on Instagram. It's a brilliant little place. And they embroidered this gorgeous blanket, which Bonnie loves. She sort of digs and snuggles down in it. So I want to show you some of the writing on this. You can see here the first mate section, but they've also done a little Bonny and a little pirate, but she's lying on it and I can't get her from being underneath it. But they also, the same design is also on this little bag that they've done, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I just love it. I love it. The work that's gone into that embroidery and everything is just absolutely stunning. So thank you very much for that. And also got these lovely bandanas, and these are all handmade and hand stitched, and these are from a fellow narrowboater as well, and we like to support little small businesses, don't they? But she sent me these, so thank you so much. This is Doreen. She's also got a YouTube channel called Narrowboat Canal, I think it's called. So thank you, Doreen. She did send me a link to a website, but I couldn't get it to work, but that is narrowpaws.co.uk, so it might be up and running by the time this video goes out. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all your generosity. Also, I got this. I love this. This is from Helen and Sam again. I'm such a kid. But thank you so much, everyone. So I'm going to leave the video here. I really do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do give me a big thumbs up. It really helps. Subscribe down below, absolutely free, especially if you want to follow these adventures. Yeah, and just a massive thank you to you all, and not forgetting my gorgeous, loyal, lovely patrons. Thank you so much, everybody. Cheers. Bonny, can I have a little look under here, Bonds? Bonny, are you all snuggled? Are you all snuggled? I wanted to show the writing on this. Let's have a... Bonny, oh, good. I'm sorry, Bonny. I know you love it in this blanket. I know you love it. So, oh, there. There it is. Oh! There you are. How cosy are you there?